Okay, good morning, everybody. So I think good morning is time, and I would like us to actually start. Please, can you hear me very well? If you can hear me, say I. You can just unmute.
Hi.
Just wonderful.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Wonderful. Okay, so thank you very much.
Hi.
Wonderful. All the eyes have it. The eyes have it in this stream at this point. Yeah. Please, can you see my screen?
Hi.
Okay, that is good. Thank you very much. So please, can you see? Let me just start sharing so that you can see my screen very well. So my name is Sheon, and I'll be taking us through this class in a couple of minutes. It's a very practical class, so um, I'd like you to please, can you see my screen? What can you see on the screen, please? I want someone to just tell me what they can see on the screen.
I
What can
can
you
see
see?
two faces,
Okay,
two
wonderful.
faces of individuals. No.
What can you see now?
MS Excel free practical masterclass.
Correct. Now you can see my screen, so that's good. So if you have any questions at any point in time, you can just use, because of the number of people we would have, I think we probably will have like about 300 or 400. So if you have any questions, you can just use the indicator right there, that raise hand indicator, whenever you have any questions, so that we can take your question. Thank you very much for coming for this class. My name is Sheon from GODP Consulting here, and I'll be taking us through this Excel class. We've been having some of this in the past, so it's one of those classes where we tend to share knowledge to achieve more at this point. So this class basically is going to focus on some critical things that might actually help us to do our work better. So I'll be looking at some Excel functions to analyze data. I'll be looking at some text functions, some logical functions, some functions that will actually help you achieve more at what you do. That is what I'll be looking at. But before going into this, at the very minimum, I want to actually get a feel of the people in the class. So I just want you to I just want one person from each country, or one or two people from each country. Just tell me your name, your company. Just two will be okay from each country. Just tell me your name and what you intend to achieve from this class, and then we move on. So can we just go on, please? I just want one person, two people from each country.
Yes, so I want to start. Good morning.
Morning.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
All right. So my name is Alhassan Augustine Christian Toure. I am the founder and chief executive officer of the Human Capital Institute Sierra Leone. We are a human resource. Yes, we are a human resource consulting firm. We are also a social enterprise with a focus in youth and women empowerment in Sierra Leone, and in that we provide training, skills development, and knowledge trainings, entrepreneurial and related, and then we also do job placement and the like. So I am attending this training today as a HR professional. I want to improve on my Excel skills because I'll be analyzing a lot of data for my clients and a lot of information, that I have to use Excel, especially when it comes to payroll and other related. So I'm looking forward to learn from the highlights that you've just projected now, and I hope to share that learning with the team as well. Thank you very much for organizing.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that's Mr. Alazan from Sierra Leone. So any other country, please? Your name, your company, what you intend to learn, please. Any other person, you can go ahead, please. Very quickly, please. Yeah.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Romeo, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Perfect. I'm Romeo from Ivory Coast. So I'm there today in order to clearly go deep dive on my understanding of Excel because I use on daily basis data. So I need to clearly moving fast with my data with Excel. and also increase my level of understanding.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Romeo from Ivory
You are
Coast.
welcome.
Okay, any other person? Okay, any other person from another country? We can just take one from each country, really.
Good morning.
Any other
Good
country
morning.
apart from Sierra Leone and Liberia? You can go ahead, please.
Good morning. My name is Kunle Oyetoyo from Ijewere & Co. We render tax advisory services auditing to various clients who are presently located in Nigeria. I'm here to upscale myself on the use of Excel and also to pass this across to my colleagues in the office. Thank you. And thank our powerful GODP and your team. You've been wonderful this way. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate you, sir. Okay, for many other countries apart from Nigeria, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Ghana, Kenya, anybody from there? I think I've taken so much time on introduction, and I think we need to start. Thank you very much for all the introductions. I think we'll get to meet each other afterwards. So let's go to what we want to do. So I'm going to use this very simple example to go through what I want to teach today. So I'm going to start from very simple things, and I will now take them a little step further. I would like to do as much as possible. To be able to do that, let me see. To be able to actually achieve as much is going to be very practical. So if you have any questions as I'm doing this, please let me know by raising up your hand in there. Yeah? So let me just use this very simple examples, and I'll be able to go on. So I'm going to open this. I just have a set of information right here. I'll start with the simple, very simple ones. So let's start with very simple data validation. So like I said some seconds ago, I'll do a couple of this and more, as much as I can take in 2 hours. So let's start with data validation. Data validation. Now, the very sincere truth is this. If you've been working with a lot of data, you don't want people to actually put the wrong data on your file, on your Excel worksheet or your workbook. So what do? You validate the data. Now, for example, if I type something like this, say 31/12/2022 and 12/31/2022, let me ask a question. Are they both dates? Are they both dates? Anybody wants to help me with that? Are they both dates? 31/12
Yes.
on Excel. Are they both dates?
Yes.
Yes.
So somebody said yes. So I'm going to do something so that thank you very much. 31/12. So I'm going to type here 31/12/2023 so that you can see that, yeah, I'm not sure whether you're right yet. Now I'm going to do a very simple thing. I'm going to say this date minus this date, and I press enter. And I drag it down. I say this date minus this date, and it's telling me value. Now, when Excel tells you there's a value, what does that mean? There's error in the value that is there. So when you tell me that they are both dates, for Excel, they are actually not both dates. Now, when I type, say, for example, John, you'll discover that John alights automatically goes to the right. But when I type 12, it goes to the left. 12 goes to the right. John went to the left without aligning it. Why? Because in Excel, when I type a number or a date, it goes to the right. When I type a text, it goes to the left. So you see 12/31/2023 on this my Excel worksheet is not a date. It is a text. It's like John. It's like David. And you can't say David minus John. You're going to get value. That's why you have value here. Now, however, on your system, what you probably use is month, day, year. Now, Excel is a little bit not as intelligent as you think. Why? Because it only uses the date format on your system. For example, the date format on my system is 17 05/2024. The date format is day, month, year. So whenever I'm going to type anything on Excel on my system, I must use date, day, month, year. So you can actually mute if you don't have anything to say yet, please, so that we don't get to. So you can mute if you don't have anything to say yet, please. So if I don't do anything and it aligns to the right, it is a number or a date. If it aligns to the left, it is a text. And Excel uses the date format on your system. For example, please, can you see my screen, or can you see my Excel sheet?
Yes, we can.
Yes, you can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
Thank you very much. So,
Yes.
as I'm saying,
No, sir, we can't see it.
so there's every probability. So if you can see it, that means that, so let me stop sharing and share again. That could just be your internet. You know, we are working on the internet for Africa. So we know sometimes. So I've reshared my screen so that we can all see it and we have a better experience. Yeah. So let me just go ahead and just go into what I'm doing. So I take it a step further. So now I am on my Excel sheet. So when you see date formats that goes to the left, it is not a date. When it goes to the right, it is a date. And it uses your own date format on your system. Now, while doing this, if I even highlight this and I go to general, right under here, number format, and I change it to long dates, you discover that the only ones that change to long dates are actually the ones that are dates. All the ones that I said are text, they did not change. So I want to ask a rhetorical question. Then how do I convert this particular one that is not a date to a date? Please, do you understand my question now? Now, 12/31/2022 is not a date. Now, I've asked many people. So I was actually running a class yesterday for some of my clients, and actually had in two streams, I had about 60-something people for Excel, and I was trying to explain this to them. So I asked them, what do you do when you see this? So some of them told me, yeah, just go to home and go to the number format and change it to dates. And the sincere truth is that nothing will change if you do that. How do you change it to a date? How do you change 12/31/2022, which is not a date on my own system because I use day, month, year? How do you change it to a date? So very simple. Let us look at how to change it to a date. Please watch. So I'm taking this same sheet. Let's assume all this. I got all of this from the data that was provided by a client. And all this, because they are aligned to the left, without me aligning it myself, it means it is actually a text. So what do I do? Please just watch. The first thing we are learning this morning then is, how do I convert this? So I go to data, and the approach we're going to use this morning will be very simple. I'm going to actually do it. Then afterwards, I'm going to tell us to do it together. Then afterwards, you can do it on your own. So what do? I highlight the column that has those kind of dates, and I go to data. Under data, I go to text to column. And when this opens, it opens on, it's asking me, what kind of data am I using? Does it have a delimiter in it? In this, I'm actually not doing separating the data. I can use text to column for other things. So I'm less concerned about delimited or fixed. So I click on next. If you have nothing to say, please, you can actually mute for now, please. So when I do next, it comes here. I will just do next again. Now watch, this is where I need to do the major thing. So I will say, rather than column data format, general, I will change it to dates. When I change it to dates, I will come to this. This thing is saying is day, month, year, which is my date format. I'm now going to tell Excel that, oh, the data I'm giving to you is actually month. Oh, please, I want us to mute, please. Elizabeth, you can help me mute anybody. So it is going to be month, day, year. Why? Because the data that I want to convert is on month, day, year. So I change this thing to month, day, year. So from the destination A, you see the destination is on column L. I want the corrected thing to come on column M. So I change this L, I change it to M, and I say finish. Now watch. It has put everything on M. You will discover that it has changed it to day, month, year. Now, if I highlight on this and I convert it to long dates, you will discover that it is now a date. So to convert set of columns that are not dates to dates, you can use text to column. Please, did you get what I just did?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem. Now we are going to do it together again.
So please go over again. Please go over again, sir. Thank you.
I'm going to go over, but this time I want you to do it as I do it. Yeah? So meaning that you can just open a small Excel sheet. So on your own Excel sheet, I want you to type, for example, now if you are using day, month, year on your system, i.e., this your date format is day, month, year, then use month, day, year. Type what I typed, 12/31/2022. However, if it is month, day, year, I want you to type 31/12/2022. Please, did you get what I just said? So that we can use it to do this together. Please, are we following me or I'm talking to myself? I just need to be, I need.
Yes, we are following you.
So I'm going to align, I'm going to highlight this particular column that asks what I want to convert to a date. I highlighted it. After highlighting it, then I go to data. Data. From data, I go to data tools. Can you see data tools here? Data tools. Data tools. And you will see text to column. Text to column. Under data tools, you see text to column. So data, text to column. Click on the text to column. Click on the text to column. Click on the text to column. So when you click on the text to column, just say next. Click next. And it's going to ask you, what's the delimiter? Yeah, we are not using text to column for what might require this. So just click on next. Now, so when you see the screen that says, this screen lets you select each column and set the data format. This is what we want to do because we want to change the format of this particular date. Now, I want you to now, rather than having it on general, I want you to move it to dates. Dates, column date format, click on dates. When you have selected dates, then you would actually see it. On mine is saying day, month, year, DMY. But because the data I want to convert is actually month, day, year, I will change that format from DMY to MDY. But however, if your own date format is actually month, day, year, then you'll be changing it to day, month, year. So when I'm done with that, it's asking me for the destination. The destination on mine is L1. But I don't want it to replace what was there before. So I'm going to change L1 to M1. And I will say, click on finish. And you will discover that right beside it on column M, you now have the correct date format. So the first thing I've taught you now is that you can use text to column to correct the date format if it is not in the correct ordering. Any questions? So we are going to take it a little bit fast as we go on. Oh, okay. So I'm going to just try to take it again. So text to column was actually on data, under data, under data. Under data, on the right, you will see data tools and you will see text to column. Have you seen it? He said?
I didn't see data on my own. Okay, under data, okay.
Yes, correct. It's all the same Excel, whether in Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria, everywhere in the world, really, it's the same Microsoft Excel, really. So I want to believe you followed me. So we have learned the first thing. The first thing is using text to column to change the date format. So I want you to try it on your own. You have 30 seconds to try it so that we can go to the second body of knowledge. So text to column to change the date format is the first thing. So try it on your own. I'm giving you 10 seconds, or sorry, 30 seconds, but 5 seconds is gone out of that already. Yeah. So I want to believe you're trying it, because that is where the skill comes. With Excel, you actually need to be able to try it yourself. So our training, whenever you come for our training or you attend our training, skills are learned when you do them. So we don't just tell you, we don't just show you, we ensure you do it. Yeah, so you must do it. I'm sorry, I don't have the laxity to actually check each of our system. I will normally check your system to ensure you are doing it, because that is the way you learn the skill. So can I move on to the second one? So we have done that 30 seconds over because of our time. Is a recorded class, so you can still get back to actually look at this. Now, let's go to the second one. Now, what I want to teach second now will be data validation. That was what I said I wanted to teach at first, really. So let's go back to data validation. So I said, I don't want people to put the wrong things on my data. I also want to teach one thing, very simple thing, before I go to data validation. Now, I need it so that you can see my screen very well. Now, when I actually navigated to to the right, you will discover that you can't see all the information on the left again. So that you can always see the information on the left, I can freeze the pane. To freeze the pane is to make some particular columns and some particular rows to stay without moving, even when you move to the right, or you move down, or you move left, or you move up. To do that, you can do freeze pane. To freeze pane, I'm going to freeze some columns on the right, and I'm going to freeze the header. To do that, I put my cursor on these 2 billion. What does that mean? The column on the right, on the left, will be frozen, and the row on top of that particular figure would also be frozen. So where do I go to when I want to do this? I go to view, and I put my cursor where I put it, and I go to view. Under view, I click on freeze panes, and you will see freeze pane, column row. Can you see it? The blue things here, column row. I click on that. The moment I've done that, even when I navigate to the right, from product to year are frozen already. It's so that whenever I navigate to the right, it will be frozen. Please, do you understand what I just did? Did we get what I just did?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to do it again. Going to do it again, just watch. No problem. I'm going to do it again so that you can watch. Now, what do I want to achieve? What I want to achieve is that now, when I scroll now to the right, can you see everything has disappeared that I have before, because I'm scrolling to the right? Or if I scroll down, as I go down, you will discover that everything actually goes up. Now, I don't want the header to go as I'm scrolling down. I don't want it to disappear, because I don't want it to actually go. I want it to still remain. And I also want from products to revenue to remain. Why do I want it to remain as a column? So that when I begin to scroll to the right, I will still be able to see the products. So what do I do? Now I want column A to column E to remain. And I also want row 1, this first row, to remain, to be frozen. So what do I do? Because I want 5 columns and 1 row, I'm going to put my cursor at the intersection. Remember, I want from here to here, and I want this. So I'm going to put my cursor on this 1.4. Please, do you understand what I just said?
Yes.
Okay. So when I
Yes.
put my cursor here, I go to view, and under view, I will see freeze pane. I click on view and I will see freeze pane. I click on freeze pane and I will see freeze panes, freeze top row, and freeze first row, first column. I'm going to click on freeze panes. And the moment I do that, Excel will help me to freeze the panes. So at this point, you will discover that even if I scroll down, the header is actually not scrolling. And if I scroll to the right, column 1 to column E, column A to column E are not moving because I've frozen them. So, by the way, I have taught you already how to freeze panes and how to do text to column to convert a text to a date. I want to believe you got that, am I right? So if you got that, say I, so that I can move on. You know, this is a democracy. Say I.
I.
The eyes have it. You know, when it's one versus
Aye.
somebody, have it.
Sir, please, how do you unfreeze?
To unfreeze, you click the same thing. So if I just come back here, what I add as freeze paint will now be on freeze paint. So I'll just click on it again.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. So let's take it a step further. Now, I'll now go. I think we can mute now because of the noise. Okay. Now let's now go to what I wanted to go to. So I've taught two things, by the way. So let's go to the data validation. Let's assume that this sheet, I only want people to put dates. Let's say date of receipt or inventory date. Let us say it's inventory date. Now, if I allow people to type, do you know some people will actually type date as 12th May 2022. You know, to some people, this 12th May 2022 is a date. To some people, 12th, May, full stop, 2022 is a date. So if you allow people to type all these things that are not going to help you to analyze the data, then you would have more problem when you want to use the data when you want to use the data for decision making or analyze data. So to ensure people don't type rubbish, what do? You validate the data. So let us validate this cell together. We want people to only be able to type dates inside this inventory date. And let's even assume that the date is only within 2024. You don't want people to type dates of 2022 or 2021 or any other date. I just want dates within 2024. What do? I would highlight, please, I want you to watch now. I highlight the column. After highlighting the column, I will go to data. Please, are you following me? I want to believe you are following me. I need to have faith when it comes. Yeah. So I've highlighted the column I want to validate, and I will click on data. From data, I will come to this group that says data tools. This particular one, please, can you see my cursor? This one that my cursor is on that says data validation. Data validation. Please, can you all see? Say aye, yes, then I'll be sure. Yeah, can you see this data validation? Aye. Yeah. Aye. So I'm going to click on it. Aye. So when I click on this data validation, it's going to give me a dialog box. So the dialog box here is what I'm going to put instructions on that will cause Excel to validate that column. So here it says validation criteria under settings. Now, the validation criteria before now says any value. I'm now saying don't accept any value, accept only dates. So I would click on the drop down and change any value to dates. Any value, I change it to dates. Remember, the moment I actually said dates, it says data between. Now I can change this thing to between, greater than, less than, and all of that. But remember, what I wanted to achieve was that I wanted people to put only dates within 2024. So to achieve that, the start date here will now be 1/1/2024, meaning 1st of January 2024. Now remember, my date format matters here. My date format on my own system is day, month, year. So when you are typing these dates, ensure you use your own date format on your system, which is on your bottom. If you look at the bottom right of your system, you will see your date format. Then the end date on my own system will be 31/12/2024. Now, what does this mean? It means that the data that this cell or this column will accept the moment I'm done will only be dates between 1st of January 2024 and 31 December 2024. So let's go to the next one, which is impute message. Impute message. Now, with the impute message, that's the second tab. I've not clicked OK yet. I've not clicked OK yet. The impute message is now like giving people a guideline for them to know what to type in that column. So for example, I want people to type date, so I can put kindly impute date. And I can also put in the input message, impute date in current year alone. So this title and this input message is to guide people that will be using my template so that they can do the correct things. I'm not clicking OK yet. The next one here, the next tab is error alert. I click on the error alert. On the error alert, whenever people type in wrong data, what should it tell them? That is the title. I will just tell them incorrect entry. So you are determining, you are actually given the opportunity to determine what people should do and what to tell them if they do a wrong thing. What's the error message? You have entered a wrong date or a wrong date in a wrong format. And I will just click on OK. Now watch what we have done. Now the moment I put my cursor on anywhere on that column, can it see it's telling me kindly impute date. Impute dates in current year alone. So let's assume I come here. Let me just format this cell. Okay, let's assume I come here and I type 1/2/2024. Will it accept it? Yes. Let's assume I now come here and I type 2/3/2022. Will it accept it? No. So it's telling me incorrect entry. You have entered a wrong date or date in a wrong format. So with this, you will discover that you are able to collect the right data. And the right data will be the ones that will enter into your Excel sheet. Please, did you get what I just did? Now, you are going to try your own now. And because we are going to try your own, we are going to do it together. So I'm going to take it cool and we are going to do it together. So you can open your Excel sheet and let us try it together. So the first thing, highlight that particular column. Highlight the column. Have we highlighted the column?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after highlighting the column, I will go to data. Go to data. Are you on data? The title bar. Click on data. After clicking on data, then go to, can you see this place? I am on data validation. Click on it. Data validation. You will see data validation is under data tools. Under data tools, when they are under data, the group name is data tools on the ribbon. Okay. I want to believe we have done that. Then under the settings, you will see allow, change that allow to dates. Change the allow to dates. Then you will now see whether you want to do the date between a start date and an end date. You can impute what you want to impute there. Then when you are done doing that, go to impute message, type the message that you want people to be seeing on that column. And then go to error alert and type the error that they should get if they type a wrong thing. And when you are done, click on OK. Please, did you get how to do this? I just need to confirm. Did you get how to do this?
Yes.
Did you get it?
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, good. So we have learned data, validating data so that people don't type the wrong data. So even when you are actually doing a template, and that template, you want to actually copy dates there. When you try to copy, if you have validated it, it will ensure that the wrong things don't enter. Let's go to another one. So I've taught data, validating data. What about if what you want to validate is a list? For example, what I want to have here is country. Or let us say location, region. Let's say region. And let's assume that there are only 4 regions in the world. North, east, west, and south. Let's assume. Now, if you allow people to type, trust me, some people will type S-O-U-T as south. And some people will type S-O-U-R-T-H as south. Trust me, people could make any kind of mistakes like that. But because you don't want, remember some of this data, you want to use them for analysis. So when you're doing analysis, you don't want the wrong data in. So you can validate this region. So how do you validate it? I want to do data validation as a list. So to do that, I would highlight region. I would highlight region. I would highlight region. When I'm done doing that, I will go to the same data validation. When I get to data validation, it will tell me setting any value. I will now say, no, what I want now is a list. A list. Now, this list, you either type it somewhere else on another sheet, or I can type it inside this source. But let me type it in this source. So I will say it is west, comma, you will separate it with a comma. East, comma, north, comma, and south. Then I have input message, just the same way that one was. I will just tell them select region. And I will tell them input message is select only one region. Under error alert, type 2, you can just tell them incorrect entry. You can make it amusing a little bit and tell them ask Google. Yeah, if they type a wrong region, you just tell them go and ask Google, or a wrong location. Then I just say okay. So when I say okay, see what has happened.
Please, can you take one step back? Okay, one step, please.
Okay, no problem. So I'm going to just click on it back again. So from settings here, I will change this allow to list. Then where I have source, I typed these things: west, comma, east, comma, north, comma, and south. I didn't put and. I just typed south. Yeah. Then input message. Like I said earlier on when I was doing the date one, I said input message will tell them the kind of data you want to.
5/17/2024. So I'm joining.
January
No,
1st.
okay, so you need to
2020.
mute if you are so. Error alert is that what you want them to see when they are put
December
an incorrect.
31.
So please do me a favor, just help me mute if you are not talking to the class. If you are not talking to the class,
Olabanjo, mute yourself, please.
Please, Elizabeth, please help me coordinate that. So when I come to this incorrect entry, you have title and you have also the error message. So I'm telling them, if you don't know your region, ask Google. Yeah. So and I say, okay, now see what has happened. Whenever I come here now, you will discover that all of those east, west, north, south, west, they are now, it is now a drop down. So I can only select from the drop down. I can only select from the drop down. Now, if somebody tries to say, oh, my region is Accra, enter. Can you see what he's saying? He's telling us that, oh, there's no region called Accra. That might not be true, however. And that might be true. So you have limited the kind of data that this particular column accepts. So can you see it says incorrect entry, ask Google. So whatever you want to tell them when they make an error, an incorrect entry, you tell them using the message. So you can do data validation for dates and also validating a list. Please, did you get what I did? Please, I just want one person to tell me you're good. Then I'll be happy. You know, I have about.
I'm good, sir.
Carry go, sir.
I have about 200 people. So
Sir. Fantastic.
You are wonderful. So let me just teach you one more data validation, then I will leave data validation. We have a lot to do. So let's now assume that what you want to validate is like quantity. And let's assume that quantity can only be whole numbers or age. For example, what we want to put here is age. And you know, with age, you cannot be 20.5. Neither can you be 20.3. You're either 5 years old, 20 years old, 40 years old. You can't be 40.5. You know, when we were younger, we'll be saying, no, I'm 40 and a half. But you can't be 40 and a half. You can only be 40 or 41. Yeah. So you want people to put the age alone, for example. You can also use data validation. To do that, I will follow the same process. I light on the column, then go to, yeah, somebody needs to be muted. Just do me a favor, mute if you're not talking, so that I don't. And Elizabeth, please help me mute names that are not talking. So age, I want to validate it. So I highlight on this column, and I go to data, and I go to data validation, same place we've been going. And I go to, under this setting, rather than any value, I will change it to whole number. Whole number. Let's assume that the age that we can only put is ages above 18, meaning that anybody that is below 18 should not be able to enter into my data. Let's assume that it is like driver's license database, and you only want people above 18. So I will come here, rather than having data to be between, I will say it must be greater than or equals to. Greater than or equals to. I will now type 18 here. Then I'll go to input message and I will say input correct age. As in input the one that you were the day you were really born. Kindly input only correct. You know, some people, they don't know, they have two different age. Yeah, the one that is true and the one that is almost true. So whenever there's an error, what should it say? Then you can say, oh, whenever you put an incorrect thing, what should it say? You say incorrect entry. You can error message, consult your date or your birth certificate. Consult your birth certificate. Yeah. And you say, okay. So whenever anybody comes to this age, and for example, they type 20, it's going to allow them. They type 50, it's going to allow them. But when they type 12, consult your data. Oh, let us even change that error message. You can just tell them that age, rather than, you can just tell them age is in a wrong format or lower than 18. Remember, I said it's only 18 and above. So if somebody comes here and types 2, see what will happen. Age is in a wrong format or lower than 18. So with that, you are able to know what is going on. Now, many times you put something on Excel and it says error, and you don't know why it is an error. So with this, you get why at every point in time. So when I put like 21, it will accept it. When I put 18, it will accept it because we said 18 and greater than. So if I put 17, will it accept it? No, because 17 is less than 18. Please, do you understand what I have done? So with this little point of mine, I have been able to explain to you how you can use data validation for data validation for lists, data validation for dates, data validation for all numbers. Now I'm going to take it away from data validation. Please, do you understand data validation? Because I want to take it a step further into another body of knowledge. Any questions on data validation before I move on? No questions. Tell me I am good. If you say I'm good, then I know that I can move on to.
Hello, sir. Hello,
I am
sir.
good.
Yeah, my question is when you go on that data validation, when you open that, when we click on that data validation, I noticed that we have been using only the first, what I say, the first icon that says data validation. There are other two, cycle invalid data, clear validation cycle. Can you just throw a little light on those?
Yes. Thank you very much for the question. Now, like I explained, and I don't know whether you got this then, there are 2 points when you do data validation, either at the point of data entry or at the point of data review. You do data validation at the point of data entry or at the point of data review. Now, watch this. Now, you will discover that when I click on this, you have other things like circle invalid data. The data validation setting is used so that you can say, oh, I validate the data before people try to put in data. That is at the point of data entry. The second thing there is data validation at the point of review. At the point of review, I want to be able to see the incorrect data. I want to see incorrect data. Then Excel can help you to circle them. Let me give a simple example. Let us go to this age, this year. Now I'm going to, inside some of this year here, I'm going to type it as 2012. You know that 2012 is the way we pronounce it, am I right? So I have 2012 here, 2010. Now I want to validate this column. I will say this column, I am validating it, and I say allow only all number. And I say the whole number should say, for example, be above 2009. Let me just put anything here. You understand what you use these things for now, so you can put the correct thing. Now, when I come here, now you know that this data has been validated to now say people should not enter anything that is not a whole number. So when I come here, I can just come here and say circle invalid data. Can you see that it has circled all the invalid data? So if you look at this, you know that when I did this header is supposed to actually take only all this place. I circled everything really. So all these things that are put here, they were actually not all numbers when I type them. Or let me put it on this one, for example. This one, let me uncircle it, then I come back and you'll see what I did. And whenever you circle invalid data, it will do that for everything on the sheet, not just what you highlighted. My Excel is actually, okay, so let me just clear data validation. I'm going to come here and say, oh, this particular case should only accept only numbers, not any value. Any value will accept everything. So let me say it will only accept, okay, I have text here, Seth. Let me use this one. This particular color, I want it to accept only text. So I come here, change the data validation, accept only text with text length of 1 to 1000. Anything that you put there. So I come here and I type this. All of these things, you understand it already. And I say, okay. Now watch. Inside this color, I'm going to make them, some of them to be numbers. So now that I've made some of them to be numbers, hold on. So all these ones here, I've validated them. Now watch. I'm going to come here and click on circle invalid data. Excel is trying to help me to circle invalid data. All the invalid data that I have on this place now, it has circled them. Region, age. If I have any other thing here, let me type any other thing here. It will not even allow me to type because I have done it at the point of entry. So all the invalid data here, it has circled them here. All this region, because this region is supposed to be west, east, or south. So if I come here and I change it back to north, you will discover that it's not circling it again. If I change this one now back to say 23, it will not circle it again. Please, do you understand me? So this particular one, we use it to circle invalid data. So the way I call it, I say you use it for, what do you call it? You use it basically for data validation at the point of review. And the last one here is to clear the data validation. And I remove all the data validation. Have I answered your question, please?
Perfectly well, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to remove any question from any other place.
Sure.
Please, sir, you can go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was practicing, I did not put the headings. Is it necessary when you want to validate that you freeze the heading? Because
no.
I did.
No, I only froze it because I wanted to teach freezing the paint. So you don't need to.
But if you validate the column without freezing and you want to now type the title on the first row there, it will say error. It will not allow.
Yes.
All right.
So what you should do is that when you validate the whole column, when you are done validating, go back to the header and clear the data validation on that header so that you will not need to validate the header. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so can I take it a step further? Because now we want to go to, so I want to teach also some things on scenario management. Now I'm going to teach 3 things on scenario management. I'm going to teach you goal seek, I'm going to teach you data table, and I'm going to teach you scenario manager. So if you are good, can we go on? I want to be sure I'm not talking to myself. You know, online trainings are very...
Yes, we can go on.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you very much. Now, I'm going to do a simple example of something that looks like a management account. Let's say I have revenue. Yeah, and the revenue is 100. I'll use this as an example. Let's say cost of sales or direct cost so that people that are not accountants will go. Direct cost, let's say is 50. So gross profit is equal to, gross profit is your direct profit before you begin to remove other expenses. So if I add this together, it will give me the gross profit. Let's now say you have employee costs. You are running a business. So you have employee cost is minus 5. You have running cost. Let's assume running cost is minus 9. And let's say you have other advertising costs. Let's say advert cost is minus 5, and let us say you have other costs. Now, what I'm trying to do now, you can use it for scenario management. You can use it for budgeting. You can use it for scenario planning. You can use it for all of those kind of futuristic planning. Planning is futuristic in itself. So you can use it for strategy. That is what I'm trying to teach you now. So like I said, I'm going to teach you goal seek, data table. If I have enough time, I'm going to go to scenario manager. Those 3 tools, they are used for scenario planning. They are used for strategy. Now, let's say this other cost is minus 4. Now, all the total operating expense is now the summation of all of these things. So the summation of all of this is the total. So that means that the net profit is the one that you now say is the real thing that comes to you. It will be equals to what I have as gross profit plus what I have as total expense. Now, let's use this particular thing to do what I want to do. Now, please, I want you to watch closely. I'm going to start with goal seek. So inside this very simple example I'm using, yeah, this is like a simple management account that shows you what you have made in the business and your costs and the net profit. Now, management has come and they asked you a very simple question. We want to make a total net profit of, say, 100, or let's say a total net profit of 250 in 2024. 250 million must be the net profit. As the management accountant, what must be our revenue? Let me even make it to be very practical. Employee costs. Let us assume employee cost is a percentage of revenue. Let's say employee cost is always 2% of, so that you will see it like a budget. It's always 2% of revenue. So that you will be able to get how powerful this tool is. Let's say running costs, because you have been doing business for years, it never goes above 2% of direct cost. I'm even trying to make it to be we are making a function of different things. Let's say advert costs can never be higher than 5% of the total revenue that you make. And other expenses is always 1% of direct cost on the average. So you have, at the present, before doing anything, this 41.5. Management has now come. They said, give me a budget that will help us to achieve a goal of $250 million by the end of 2024. How would you do that? In all sincerity, I don't need to create anything. Just watch. That is the place of goal seek. I will go to data. My cursor is on net profit because the objective is to achieve net profit of 250. I will go to data. When my net profit, I put my cursor here, and I go to data. Under data, I click on what if analysis. Can you see what if analysis is under forecast? I click on what if analysis. Under what if analysis, I will see scenario manager, goal seek, and data table. I will see Can you see my screen very well, please?
Sorry, I think you're a bit faster. I don't know. If you can step back a bit.
I can see your screen, but like a bit faster.
On your screen now. Let me just.
Please, a bit fast, please.
Okay. So what can you see on your screen now?
Can you start again from where you started listing the expenses?
Okay. So let me take it a step back. So on here, I have revenue, 100. I have direct cost, 50. We can even make it that revenue is a function of, direct cost is always a function of revenue. Like, it is always not more than 20% of the revenue. So can you see everything has adjusted? So let me make this to be a function of this too. Okay, so all these direct costs, I've changed it to be 20%. Always, we cannot spend more than 20% on direct costs, direct labor, direct raw material. That's the meaning of this. Yeah, so gross profit is always equals to revenue minus direct cost. Please, do you understand that? And am I good with that? Can I take it a step further from there?
Yes, you can go ahead.
Okay. Now, employee costs. If you have been doing your budgeting year on year, you know, for example, that in a particular year, employee cost is about 2% to 3% of the total revenue. So when you want to project for the future, you can use the average. You can use based on what management wants to achieve. So in my example here, I have said employee cost is always about an average of 2% of the revenue. Please, do you understand my assumption?
Perfectly.
Now,
Yes,
I have also said for the business to run, running cost is about also 2% of revenue, because in our company, we are very, very cost effective. Then for advert cost, we said, to drive the business the way we want, because revenue is a function of how much you are doing. You discover Coca-Cola is still doing advert. The question is, everybody knows Coca-Cola already. So advert is meant to actually boost revenue, whether to inform people or to remind them or to persuade them. You always know that advert is a function, advert cost is a function of revenue. So we have made this a function of revenue. And I also have other costs. And I said, let me even make other costs to be a function of this same thing, really, so that they are all a function of, let me just stop at that. Now, if I add all of this together, total operating expense, you will discover that it is giving me 10. Now, if I take net profit is now the gross profit, taking away the total operating expense. Please, do you understand up to that point? So this is like a simple budget in your company. Please, do you understand up to that point?
Yes.
Yes, you can go on.
So now, I want to teach you goal seek now. So I'm telling you, you don't need to create another budget. You see this budget, I will have another budget in less than 10 seconds, 2 seconds with goal seek. Management has come and now they've said, Samuel, give me a budget that will make 250. What revenue must we make to ensure that we make a net profit of 250? And draft for me what the direct cost will be, what the employee cost will be, what the running cost will be, what the advert cost will be, and what other cost will be. So I put my cursor here on net profits, on the net profit within the same data, the net profit, column B12. And from there, I click on data. I click on data.
I can't see your cursor.
I am on column B12. B12. I put my cursor on column B12 and I click on data. From data, I come to this place, forecasts. And I will see what if analysis. Can you see what if analysis I'm showing you?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So from there, I can see scenario manager, goal seek, and data table. At this point, I'm teaching you goal seek. So I click on goal seek. When I click on goal seek, you will see this dialog box. Please, can you see the goal seek dialog box?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Wonderful.
Yes, please.
Oh, thank you very much. So now, because my cursor was on B12 before, you will discover that set cell is now on B12. Don't change it. You will now see another one that says to value. Put cursor inside that to value and type the objective that management wants to achieve, that the board wants to achieve, which is 250. So I typed 250 inside to value. Then the next one there says by changing cell, I put my cursor there. Remember, what management is saying is that what drives the business, the driver is revenue. Now, by changing which cell, revenue cell. So I will put my cursor inside by changing cell. I will now come to this revenue, B1. I click on it. I click on B1. And I do OK. See what Excel will do. Can you see Excel has gone to recalculate everything? So Excel is saying the new budget to achieve 250 net profit is a revenue of 357.14, direct cost of 71.43, employee cost of 7.14, running cost of 7.14, advert cost of 17.84, and other cost of 3.57. Then you would achieve a net profit of 250. Do you understand what I just did? Using simple goal seek. Okay. Now, I need we understand yes or no so that I can proceed.
Question here, question.
Please, what's the question?
So, you know, here in your analysis, you've assumed that all the costs are a function of revenue, percentage of revenue. What if they are absolute costs?
Oh, it would have done the same thing. So let us change one of them to an absolute cost. Let us change other expenses to be 5. Let us watch. So let's assume that in this second example, management wants to make 500. So I click on what if analysis, goal seek, and I say set cell B12 to value 500 by changing what the revenue is. And I'll say okay. And you will discover that everything will still change. So it has still done what it should do. Any other questions on goal seek?
All right. Sorry, Sean. Is it possible we create this goal seek in another column so that the original raw material will not be retained, and a comparison could be done on the two?
Okay, so with goal seek, it is doing it on that same data. So what you could have done is to have the current one and now add this one that you are formulating on the next column. Please, do you understand me?
All right.
Meaning that you would have like current year here.
All right. Thank you.
Like we have current year, they will now have Any other question for me?
Thank you.
Sir, please go over the net profit part again.
Hello, Mr.
Sean.
Lost
at that point.
No problem. Yes, I will go over it again. Okay. You wanted to ask a question? The person.
Yes, Mr. Sheung. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I'm trying it on my system, but then the information, the template, the data I'm using is formularized. It's not direct, it's not number or it's just formula. I brought formula because it's a link is the link sheet. So in that case, it's not giving me the right result. It's telling me that the information there is wrong. So how should I go about it?
Okay, so really, I can't see the sheet. But even if I make this thing to say, for example, the figure, I'm opening another sheet now so that you can see that it's support. I don't know what, if, for example, let's say other costs. That other cost is on another sheet. That's the example you are painting, am I right? Let's say it is 5.
Yes.
And I have come here to say this one is speaking from this one. Am I right? I'm just trying to repeat what you are trying to say. Like that, am I right? You now said when you did the goal seek, let's say I'm changing it that it will become 700 by changing this. Okay. It still works, sir. Can you see my screen?
Yes, but what I'm saying is the revenue. The revenue happens to be...
so the revenue needs to actually be out. So you need to copy and paste where every other thing that you are that is changing. That one that you are, remember you wanted to update it on this same sheet. So that one must actually be there. But every other thing you can reference it to another sheet. Like this one, I referenced it to another sheet.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're welcome. So I'm going to go over it again. Then everybody that has any questions, we will take it. Then we'll now move on. So let me take it again. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to, let me even, where do I take it from now? So where do you want me to take it from, Millie? I don't need to retype all of this. The woman that asked, the lady that asked the question, do I need to retype all of this? Or you want me to go over the goal seek alone?
The goal seek alone, I think.
Please go over it. Oh, thank you. We join late. Please.
Please go over it again.
Go over it.
Please go over it again, sir.
No, over what? Now, I need to be sure. Is it to go over the
So I think she was talking about the net profit. She was talking about
then the
the
goal
net
seeker.
profit.
The part that you're talking of goal seeker.
Okay, the goal seeker.
I may just start over.
So I think if I may suggest, if I may suggest, I want to suggest if we can have one similar figure for the class. You know, when we are doing
okay, so
on
let me do this. Let me do this because of that. I'm going to delete some of the things here. You understand what I'm doing now? So if you want to type, you can type. So I can actually just have like 100 minus 50. So you can have the same thing, then it will not be long. Yeah, do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yes.
Okay, so you can have the same thing that I'm doing. Yeah, the class is being recorded, so it will also be, be shared afterwards. I got Mr. I'm sorry, I can see your message, so it's shared and we'll send the recorded class. Okay, so I'm going to use, so look at what I typed here. So here I put 100 for revenue. So this is the current, like I was telling you, sir. So this is the current. So this current is, this is current and this is projected. So let us say projected scenario 1. Yeah. So is the scenario 1 we are now changing. So this is what I was trying to say to you the other time. So this is 100. This is cost. Cost, I put minus 50. You just need 1. You don't need to have these 2. So this gross profit, I put equals to sum of the things on top. Then this employee cost, I said is 2%. I put minus in front of it, of the revenue. And total operating expense is just what is on top of it here, which I removed every other thing. And net profit is gross profit plus total operating expense. Do you have something like that? Can I move on now? Should I give you 2 seconds or 10 seconds to type those details so that we can use it together? No, I need to confirm now whether you can hear me or I'm talking to myself.
Hear
Hello,
you.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So
We
can
can
I
hear you.
proceed? Do you have something
Come
like
again, sir.
this? Can I proceed now?
Yes, you can move on.
Okay. So to do the goal seek, let's say management wants to achieve a net profit of 250. Now, goal seek has a shortcoming that I've not even told you. Goal seek, the shortcoming of goal seek is the fact that it is only one variable that it can vary. For example, this thing, you cannot say, oh, I want to vary what revenue will be and what direct cost will be and what employee cost will be that will give me 250. What I've only said is that varying revenue, not varying any other thing. So one variable is the only thing that can change when you are using goal seek, while every other conditions remain constant. So I put my cursor on net, and I will teach you the one that will use two variables and multi-variables. That was why I said I will teach you data table and also scenario manager. So let us continue first. So I put my cursor, I'm still doing goal seek. I put my cursor on this wonderful thing here, the net profit, and I go to data. So go to data. When I get to data, I will go to data forecast. Can you see this forecast here? I'm hovering over it, and you will see what if analysis. And I will click on goal seek. When I click on goal seek, this dialog box will open. Do you have the same thing?
Yes.
Now, because my cursor was on C10, and the C10 is the objective, set cell is on C10, so it is okay. To value, put your cursor inside to value. What value do we want it to become in this projected scenario one? What do we want net profit to become? Me, I want plenty net profit. Let us say it's 1,000. That means 1,000 of billions. Yeah. By changing cell, put your cursor inside by changing cell and say, like I said, it's only one changing cell when you are using goal seek. So I say by changing the cell for revenue, I clicked on it, C2. Please, have you done something like this? Did you get it? Can I click on OK?
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Can you go on? I have more than 200 people here, so you see, I want to get one more really.
Good.
Yes, you can go ahead, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to click on OK. When I click on OK, can you see Excel has helped me? So Excel is saying current year is, sorry, let me change that one to last year. No, this money is too small. And no, we are working in billions of dollars. Okay, so projected scenario, you will discover that Excel has told me now that for us to make 1,000 in billions, then we would have to make a revenue of this and an employee cost of this. Please, do you understand what I have done? Any questions? So it is just to fill in the dialog box and click on OK, and you are good. Goal seek, can I say is a tick in the box? Can I proceed to data table?
The direct cost did not change.
Because I remember in this last one I just typed, I did not make it a function. You remember I typed it. I checked, so I retyped it because I did it again. The other time you remember that I changed. Yep. Can I take it a step further now to data table?
Yes.
Yes.
So with data table, you can achieve more. You see, goal seek is very limiting, but it has its own uses too. It has its own use too. So let's look at data table. What data table will do will be to even look at changing cells or changing variables that are more than one, maximum of 2. So meaning that even if I have revenue, direct cost, and employee cost, goal seek will only do one changing variable, but data table can do maximum of 2 changing variables. So can we just do that together? Now watch. With the data table, I can even create multiple scenarios at once. For example, I want to create about 25 scenarios, and it will be using one thing. The 25 scenarios, I'll be using only one function. Watch, please. Rather than doing it one by one, I will just create 25 scenarios. So I'm going to call it any name of scenario so that you can move on. So in these scenarios, I'm going to put the value of, so the 2 changing scenario variables in these scenarios will be revenue and direct cost. So I say when revenue is 100, when revenue is 1,000, when revenue is 20,000, when revenue is 30,000, and when revenue is 40,000. So I'm putting the revenues on the row. I have put the revenues on the row. So now I'm going to put the costs. I'm going to put them. No, let me put the revenues on the column, and the row is the same thing. However, let me put the revenue on the row, and the other one I put there is the costs of sales. So these ones are the costs. So let me paint the costs yellow, and let me now paint the what do you call it? The revenues will be green. You know, green things are whenever that means it's fertile. So I come here and I say, oh, when, let me change this ones to when this one is, let me just paste this one transpose as values. Yeah, so I've pasted transpose as values, and let me make this one to be 50 when it is minus 50, minus 100, minus 200, minus 1,000, and minus 4,000. Now, please, do you understand what I've done? So all the revenues are on the columns. All the, what do you call them? Costs, they are on the row. Please, do you understand up till this point?
No, sir. The revenue is on negative sign.
No, the revenue, these are the costs. The costs are the ones on the row. These are the costs. The revenue are these ones. I put the revenue on the column and the cost, direct cost on the row. Please, do you understand me?
It's fine. Fine.
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, so now let's take it. Now watch. Data table, in all sincerity, you cannot, is a very simple thing, but you need to just follow me. Now inside here, I want Excel to give me different scenarios. When it is direct cost is 50 and revenue is 100. When direct cost is 100 and revenue is 100. So I want you to give me multiple scenarios. What the net profit will be, not just one scenario, because this one now is only one scenario. But I want you to give me what this net profit is, net profit I'm talking about now, this one, what this net profit will be. That means it would have factored in the employee cost. I put my cursor on this edge, and I put equals to, and I come to this net profit and I click on it and I press enter. Second step, I highlight everything and I go to data. Under data, I go back to the what if analysis and I click on data table. When I click on data table, a dialog box pops up. And I can see row input, column input. Now, what did I put on the row? Please, I want somebody to tell me, what did I put on the row and what did I put on the column? What's on the row? Is it
on the row? On the row we have
Expenses.
costs.
On the row
Costs.
is direct cost.
While on the column we
Column
have
is,
revenue.
Revenue column.
revenue.
Thank you very much. Now, because you know that, see what I'll do. Row input, I will now go back into this function. The row input is direct cost. I will click on direct cost. Inside this particular one I have done for projected scenario 1, I clicked on it. Then column input is revenue. I also come and click on the revenue here. Please, do you understand what I have done?
Yes.
No, I think I'm a bit confused.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do it again. So when this thing popped up, I said on the row here is the cost, direct cost I put. So I will come back to inside this same function I'm using, and I click on where the direct cost is. Can you see this 50? I come to for revenue, I click on where the revenue is, and I click on OK. Every other thing is not me that did it, is Excel. So here, Excel is saying when it is 50 direct costs and 100 revenue, you will make 48. Can you remember? That was the one for last year. I intentionally used that. Can you see 48? It's telling me net profit will be 48 if the direct cost is 50 and revenue is 100. That means it has also factored in the employee costs. So this thing is now saying when revenue is 20,000 and direct cost is 50, the net profit will be 19,550. So it has created more 25 scenarios. So that means rather than doing projected scenario 1, projected scenario 2, projected till 25, all of the 25 results, this is all of them here. Any questions? Did we get this?
Yes,
Hello,
I got
hello,
it.
sir.
I have a
Hello.
question. I have a
Go ahead.
question.
Okay,
Peter
please
also.
ask your question.
Why do you have to put again? Why do you have to replicate the net profits, the reference net profits in the cell E3? Why do you have to replicate it there? Is it compulsory? Is it necessary?
No, I'm trying to get it. When you mean replicate, you mean when I put it here, E2?
When you put it E3, check E3, 1,000 revenue as a reference, you know.
And so this one,
So
why did I
E2.
put it?
You got the E2 from C9, I believe.
I got the E2 from C9, yes. Is referenced.
Is it compulsory? Is it necessary?
Oh,
If
yes.
already
So if I delete it now, if I delete it now, can you see everything goes away?
Oh, okay. So you have to bring the reference to that
And
part.
you will discover that I did not type it. If I had typed it, nothing would happen. As in, it will be wrong. Can you see there is wrong? So it must be referenced back to the correct thing. Then it will be correct.
So
Thank
but
you.
where I have a little confusion,
Okay.
after that 1,000 naira, where did we now go when you highlight all the table? Did you go on gold seek or table?
Okay, so I'm going to redo it again so that we can have one.
Sorry, Oga Shehu.
It's don't worry, it's the same thing. We call Jesus, Jesus. We don't. I'm
Oga
listening,
Shehu.
sir.
No, I think I'm worried about not the process of getting to the result. Is the interpretation that when you finish this repeat, you now explain, you interpret each of the figures to us. That's what I want to.
No problem. I will go over it again. Okay, so let me just do it again. Now, the person that wanted us to do it again, I'm doing it again. So I put the different variables, changing variables for the scenarios. So on the row, I put the costs, direct cost. On the column, I put the revenues that could be gotten. Then the apex here, I put equals to, and I navigated back to the net profit we have calculated in our function. And I press enter. After doing that, I will now highlight everything. After highlighting, I will now go to data, what if analysis, data table. When I get to data table, it's going to give me a dialog box. It's asking me to impute some cells, reference cells. So it says row input cell. It's saying from the input, from the function you are using, the template you were using to actually input that you have been using, like the budget, where is that thing that you put on the row inside the data table? Now on the row here, I have direct cost. So I'm going to go into that function here and click on the direct cost. It says column input cell. Where did the column input cell here now, the ones on the column is the revenue. So where is the revenue inside here? I put my cursor here and I say, hey, this is the revenue. Now, did you get what I just did? The person that asked me to read it, did you get this before I click on OK?
So, yes, I'm sorry. I think I get it.
Okay, so I will click on OK and voila, it is done. Now, let me now explain this. Now, I intentionally used 50 and 100 here. The reason is because that is what was here last year. So what was here last year was the 50 and the 100. You will discover that when revenue was 100 and direct cost is 50, employee cost was 2, and net profit was 48. Can you see it's the same thing that it gave me here? It means that when revenue is 100 and direct cost is 50, net profit, after it has calculated any other kind of direct cost, indirect cost, it is 48. So also, this particular function will take into cognizance all of the calculation inside to come and give you the net profit. So the meaning of this 35,200 is that when net profit revenue is 40,000 and cost of sales or direct cost is 4,000, after it has factored in employee costs, the net profit will be 35,200. Please, do you understand my explanation?
Yes.
Wonderful. So
Mr.
that
Dan,
is.
do you capture 30,000 naira on warehouse?
No, I didn't take
30,000 naira on warehouse.
So, okay. So please, did we get that, please? Did we get that, please? The question from there is not for me. Hello, did we get that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did. Hey, sir, please, I have a question.
Fire.
Please, will this scenario work if we have more additional costs apart from VAT running costs included in that last scenario? Will this still work?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to explain. Let me just show you that. So let me just show you that very briefly. Let me just drag this down. Let me include other costs. Let me say that you have other costs. Let us say you have advert costs. And let us say advert cost is, let us even say it's a function, meaning it is revenue multiplied by 5%. Yeah. So I'm putting another cost so that you would get me correctly. So let me drag this.
Okay, that one is that one that we saw that is okay.
Okay, so you need to be for that. Okay, so I'm gonna just come here. Hey, please, Elizabeth, let me mute madam. Okay, so can you see this now? So this one is going to be a sum of this. So I want to show you so that you see everything will change immediately. So if I do this, you will discover everything will change. Can you see that? Remember, it was 48 here before. It's down 43. Remember, it was 32,500 before here. Can you see it's 33,200? So even if you have 5,000 other expenses under here, it will still calculate it. Any questions? Can I take it a step further?
Yes, please.
Wonderful. So let us go.
Right.
Now, wonderful. So I have done goal seek. I have done data table for 2 variables. Now, if data, you now want all of these variables, you want them to change. Rather than only revenue alone, like goal seek could do, or data table, like revenue and direct cost changing, like data table could do. I want everything to change, meaning revenue can change, direct cost can change, employee cost can change, advert cost can change, and they have no relationship with each other. Let's assume. Data table cannot do that. Goal seek cannot do that, but scenario manager can do that. So let's go to scenario manager. Now, the best way to do this with scenario manager, yes, let me just show you, is this. Now, let me also, by the way, just teach this very small thing. How to name cells. I will tell you why I'm naming the cells as I go on. How to name cells. So the very simple way to name cells is to just highlight on it like this. Why do I want to name cells? Watch. If I put my cursor on this one, this place says it's B2. If I put my cursor here, it says it's B3. When I name this cell, when I name a cell, you know that thing that we do when we absolute, you don't need to absolute again. Because when you have a named cell, it's already absolute. So how do you name cell? I just highlight. I've highlighted now, and I can just do, let me even show you from here. Go to formula. Under formula, you will see defined names. Under defined names, click on create from selection, and a pop-up will come out. The pop-up will say create names from the value in the left column. Because I've highlighted it before, it's saying 100 will now be known as revenue. Minus 50 will now be known as direct cost. I say okay. Now watch. When I click on revenue 100 now, can you see inside here it says it's revenue? When I click on 50 now, inside here it says it's direct underscore cost. When I click on gross profit, it says it's gross underscore profit. Please, I assume that you understand what I just did. That's not where I'm going to. So let me go to where he said.
Hello, sir. Can you go back from the formula? You said how to name the cell. I skipped one part, so I could not get what you were doing.
Okay,
Can you just
so
go
what
back?
I did was I highlighted the cells, all the place where I have all the things I want to name, and I went to formula. Under formula, I can see a group called defined names, and I can see create selection. Create selection. Create from selection. Click on that create from selection. When I click on create from selection, I will be able to see top row, left column, bottom row, right column. Now, because all the names of those things I'm looking for, they are on the left column, I will ensure that what is ticked is left column alone, and I will click on OK. Did you get that? And it would have done the correct thing.
All right. Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So let us take it a step. Let me just try to do this scenario manager. Then I still want to do logical function and all that, but I will need to take your buy-in to actually do that because of the time. Now, watch this.
Somebody's hands up. Somebody hand is up. I don't know.
Yeah, that hand has been up beginning of.
Okay.
So really, I think I need to.
Sorry, sir. Is your screen still shared? I can't see your screen.
Okay, can you see my screen now?
When did you? No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to share again. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. So let us go to scenario manager. Like I said, scenario manager will work perfectly well when all the variables can all change. Now watch the simple trick. I will just go to data. I'll put my cursor anywhere. I just go to data. As far as my cursor is within the same, like the budget you are using or any other thing, I will just go to data. Under data, I will go to what if analysis. What if analysis. And I will go to the first thing there that says scenario manager. Now, please just watch. When I come to scenario manager, I will click on add, meaning add the first scenario I want to create. Let us say this is scenario 1. So I name it scenario 1. Then it's asking me a question. What are the changing cells? I remove this thing and I say the changing cell, meaning the things that can change. I say the changing cell and I put my hand on my control here. And I say it is revenue, direct cost. I'm clicking on each of them as I'm employee cost and advert cost. You will discover I didn't select gross profit because gross profit is an output. I didn't select total operating expense because it's an output. I didn't select net profit because it's an output. And when I'm done selecting that, I'll click on OK. It's speaking English, I say OK. It's now asking me, in this scenario that I've created, which is scenario 1, what should the value of revenue be? I say revenue would have increased by, say, 100 multiplied by 200%. Meaning it has increased by what? 2 times. It has increased to 200%. Meaning now, and I say direct cost would have only increased by 2%. So I take times 1.02 or 120%. So let me do it the same way, times 2. 100 times 2 means it has grown twice. 50 times 1.02 means it has grown by 2%. Employee cost, I say employee cost has only increased by 1%, so it is 1.01. Advert cost, I say there's no increase, and I say add. When I say add, I say okay. It's telling me, do I want another scenario? I say yes, I want scenario 2. I don't need to change the changing cells. I'll just say okay. It's now asking me what is the value for revenue in scenario 2. I say in scenario 2, revenue would have increased 20 times. I say direct costs would have only increased, say, 3 times. And let me say add. Please, can you help me mute? And I have scenario 3. Scenario 3. Let's assume scenario 3 would have increased, revenue would have increased by 30 times. And advert cost would have increased by, let's say, 10 times. And I want only 3 scenarios, so I'll click on OK. Now watch. When I click on OK, it has shown me that I've created 3 scenarios. I will now click on summary. Summary. When I click on summary, it's asking me, do I want scenario summary or I want scenario pivot report? I said scenario summary is okay. So it's now asking me another question. What are the result cells? Remember when I started, I said gross profit, total operating expense, and net profit are result cells. So I remove this and I come here and I click on gross profit and I press Control down. Total operating expense and net profit. And I click on OK. Now watch the miracle. Can you see what Excel has done for me? I wasn't the one that did it to his Excel. This is the scenarios. Please, did you see what he just did? Oh, now I've started talking to myself.
Yes, yes.
Just wait.
Yes, I can see it.
Yeah, yes, we do.
So can you see that this I've done a beautiful thing. I wasn't the one that did it. It's Excel. He just told me that current value, these are the current value. Scenario 1 I created. The output of scenario 1 is 141.98.
Sorry, sir.
Scenario 2, the output is 1.1843 as net profit. Scenario 3, the output is 2898. you can just give this one to management and say, management, if we are going to go this way, to make 2898, we would have to get 3,000 revenue, 50 direct costs. Employee cost must not be more than 2, and advert cost must not be more than 50. And with that, we'll make a gross profit of 2950, and total operating expense cannot be more than 52. When they see you talking, they will assume that you have done the arithmetics. It's not you, it's Excel. Any other question? Please, did you get what I just did?
Oh, on this scenario,
Please, can you go
I'm in the wilderness in this scenario manager.
Don't worry, there will be
Can you
a way.
please go over the scenario manager
No,
again?
no, this is Abraka. This is
Hello.
Abracadabra.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll go over.
Can you please go
I'll
back
go
on this
over it.
scenario manager, please? Thank you.
What did you say?
Can you please go back on this scenario manager?
I will go back. I will go back. The essence of doing
All
it the
right.
first time is yeah, I'll go back.
It's like a
Okay.
magic. Sorry, sir. Thank you.
It's magic, yeah. So now remember, this is where I started from. This scenario summary, it created it by itself. So really, I'm not the one that created it. So it looks beautiful, but it's Excel that really created it. I only told it the
So you can
parameters.
modify and beautify it later on by yourself, right?
You can. It's a normal Excel file, so I can do anything I want now. Anything you want to do, you can do. What did I click on? Okay. So you can beautify. You don't like this color, huh? You want a better color?
Yes. I want my company color.
Your company color. Okay, no problem. You can do that one. Let me first teach it again. Okay, so let's take it again. Like I said, the work of scenario manager is to now say all the variables can change, not just 2 variables or 1 variable. To do that, all I did was to put my cursor within the function I want to use or the template I want to use, and I went to data. Under data, I came to what if analysis. Under what if analysis, I clicked on scenario manager. Remember, I've created 3 scenarios already. Because whenever you create these scenarios, you can even use them in the future. Meaning I can just create 5 scenarios, and every time I will just be using it to run the team. That's all. I don't need to redo it again. But let me add one more scenario. So can you do me a favor? Click on scenario manager on your own system so that this thing can come out. Have you done that? So that we can do it together.
Hello, sir. Please, I missed out on the cell that you highlighted prior to going to the what if analysis.
I really didn't highlight. I just put my, oh, sorry. Do you have something like this on your system? Were you here when we did all this?
Yes. I'm following you all right. But I missed out, prior to going to the what if analysis, I think you highlighted on some cells before you went to the what if analysis, unless I'm wrong.
No, I just put my cursor anywhere within what I want to do.
Okay.
I just put my cursor here and I came to what if analysis and I clicked on scenario manager. So do we have the same thing now? Do we have like something like this dialog box? Can I take it a step further?
Yes.
So the moment I've come here, now I want to add one more scenario to mine. You will create as many scenarios as you want. So I click on add. When I click on add, I will have another add scenario dialog box. When it shows that scenario box, I will name the scenario. So let's say I'm naming it scenario 4. So you can name yours any name you can call it best case scenario, good, bad, ugly, anything you want to call it. Okay, so now it will ask you, what are the changing cells? Now, I have put mine already. So what you will type when changing cell, you can just put your cursor on control and begin to select each of those changing cells, like that 100, that 50, that 22, all those things that can change, which is revenue, direct cost, employee cost, adverts. Have you selected those things inside the changing cells? Remember, gross profit is not a changing cell, it's a result. Total operating expense is a summation, it's not a change in cell. So also net profit. Did you get that? Okay. Okay, so when you are done doing that, click on OK. Then it will bring out a dialog box for scenario value. So it's now asking you, in this new scenario you are creating, what will be the value of all these changing cells? Now, a way you can do that is that rather than typing absolute number, see what I'm doing. In front of the 100, I put equals to, and I said revenue would have grown by, multiplied by would have grown by 50 times, grown 50 times. So I put 100 times 50, meaning the 100 it was before multiplied by the number of times it would have grown. Please, do you understand what I just did?
Yes, sir. Yes, we do.
Yes, sir.
I need to know. Thank you very much. So direct cost.
Hello, sir. Please, a question before you go on. The 50 times the revenue is growing, are we saying it's 50% or 500%?
So 50, when you say something as times 50, it means 50 times 100%. Remember that whenever you say 50%, that means that thing is actually half of that thing. So if I had said 100 times 50%, that means 100 divided by 2. But
Okay.
when I say 100 times 50, it means 100 times 50 times. Do you understand what I mean now? 100%. So whenever you say something is percent, it means over 100. So when I say times 50, it means it would have more. It would have more. It is in multiples of 50. Multiples of 50 means 100 times 2 is 100 times 200%. Multiples of 3 is 100 times 300% or 100 times 3. Do you understand me now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So
Excuse me,
create
sir.
your scenario as I'm creating it. You have a question? So be creating your scenario.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your question, please?
Please, this direct cost and employee cost, did you pick random numbers or they are a function of a particular figure?
Okay, so when I did this second one, I used a random number. When I did it at first, I made them a function of revenue. So this number that I'm typing in here is not a random number. It's picking it from the template that you are doing it from. Please, do you understand me? So this 50 is picking it from that place. However, the scenario I'm creating is a function of the direction of management. For example, management says we want to grow revenue 50 times. We are doing like a scenario planning. So you are saying, oh, in the best case scenario, revenue will become multiplied by 50, meaning revenue would have grown 50 times because we are going to do XYZ. So this is like you are planning. So when you are planning, what are those things going to become within your scenario? Please, have I explained? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. So create your scenario your own way. As in create anything, i.e., you can see the way I'm creating it. i.e., I'm saying, what would they be? What would those changing cells be in this scenario 4 I'm creating? So create your own by typing the correct things. Can you see I'm putting equals to and I'm multiplying it? However, you could have typed an absolute figure too.
Excuse, I have a question.
Please go ahead.
So when I click on my own during this scenario creation, I remember one of the exercise we did, we have already changed the names. So in the box, dialog box that is coming out in myself, I'm only seeing the name. I'm only seeing revenue, direct cost,
yes,
like
yes.
that. So do I just do times 50 in the front, or do I need to put equals sign before the
Put
times
equals
50?
to, look at what I'm doing. Just look at the screen first. Just look at the screen.
Okay, I'm seeing your own now equals to 100 multiplied by
because
50.
100 was what was there before.
Okay, so now in my own case, now I have revenue here. Would I say now revenue times 50? Because it's showing the name of the cell. It's not showing the
No,
100 naira figure.
You clicked on the wrong changing cells. That is what happened.
Okay.
When you actually clicked on the changing cells, rather than clicking on 100 and 50, you clicked on the word revenue and direct cost. Do you understand? Rather than clicking on B2, you clicked on A2 and A3. So you just need to just adjust that back. Just do cancel and do that again. You just change the changing cells.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
you. So when I'm done, if you are still creating more scenarios, click on add. So when you click on add, a new pop-up for another scenario will come. But if you are done with all the scenarios, click on OK. It will say name and result of formulas were converted into value. Say OK. It will bring out something like this. So does anybody have like this thing that has scenario summary? Now I have started speaking too much English. When I begin to see, I had above 200 people. It's now 192. That means I'm boring. I'm now very boring. That's the meaning. When the class reduced from 200 and something to 192, don't you think I'm boring?
No, I don't think so. People are going for break. The break is the break period for most companies. So some people are going to eat or something.
They need to be passing for for different countries. Where in Liberia,
you are trying. You are not boring at all. Or you are trying. Thank you very much.
Okay, so have we done this? Are we on the same page? Yes, I won't lie to you. Are we on the same page? Are you on scenario manager summary now?
Yes.
Okay, so when you are done, you will see a button summary. Click on that summary. So when you click on the summary, it's now going to have a result cell field. And it will have report type, whether a scenario summary or a scenario pivot report. A scenario summary is what I just did the other time. If I change it to a scenario pivot table report, it will look like a pivot table. So I am on scenario summary and the result cells. What are the result cells? Like I explained to you, gross profit is a result cell in this case. So I'm going to click on 50. Then I'm going to click on 50. My cursor is on control. My hand is on control. And I'll click on total operating expense, which is 7 in this example, in the template I'm using. Then net profit, which is 43. And when I'm done, I will just click on OK. And Excel will do this again. The moment you say OK, Excel is the one doing the remaining. All I just did was, so can you see I have 4 scenarios here? So you can now just tell management, you know what, I've been working over the night to do these reports. However, you only did it in 3 minutes. Because every other time, I can just go back to that thing and click on that scenario. I don't need to redo it, even if it's a new set of data. So that means whenever they come to you to say, oh, give us 20 scenarios, the same scenarios you created 10 years ago, just click on reports and it will bring it out. Any questions? So,
hello, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay, so you can
Hello,
ask your
good
question.
sir.
Please, quiet, please.
I did my scenario summary, and I didn't get in the changing cells. You have yours named revenue, direct cost, and so. But mine was given the name of the cell.
Yours is
because
saying
I did not name
B1, B2. It is because you did
Yes.
not name it. That was why we named the cell before we went on. So on your own, it will show B1, B2, B3 because you did not name it.
How can I go about that? So you have to bring
the
it back.
we just did it now. Go back and go and name it. Oh, were you not here when I taught how to name the cells?
I missed that step.
Okay, so name the cells. Come back to your source. Highlight it. Can you see my screen? Highlight what I'm showing you now. go to formula. Under formula, click on, under this thing, you will see define names. Define names. Click on create from selection. Click on create. This is all I need. Click on create from selection. Ensure left column. Oh, please, I need us to mute if you are not saying anything. Abdul, you raised your hand. Abdul Wali, you can ask your question, please, if you have a question.
Okay. Yes, I just asked my question about naming the cells now.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So click on this left column and click on, it would have been named. Okay, so I'm going to go to logical function. I'm going to go to text functions in a couple of minutes, but I need your buy-in to actually teach you more because I think I've done the number of minutes. So from my to-do, I've done data validation. I've even done more. What if analysis I've done, data table I've done, scenario manager I've done. Now, this is my question for you. Before I go on, what have you learned? I want to be sure that I'm communicating. You know, sometimes when you're doing all this online training, you're talking to yourself. You need to have faith that people are listening. So what have you learned?
On your own side.
And I can't hear you very well. What have you learned?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I think from my side, I've learned a lot today. First of all, I want to thank you. I learned from how to change the dates, the formatting of the dates. That was the first thing we did. Yeah, to color. Then we also learned data validation with respect to region, age, how to set error message in all those.
Thank you very much. Let's just take. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, sir. So, any other
Thank you very much, sir.
What did you learn? Yeah, please. What did you learn? There are many people, so.
Okay, hello, sir. Thank you, sir. From the session today, I was able to understand that go seek, you can only use it for two variables. Or two, yeah, two.
Go seek only one, no.
Go seek one, data table 2, and the scenario can do multiple computation for you. So that's the understanding I've gotten. But I think I have to do a personal hand on it to understand how to go about it.
Wonderful. This class is also recorded, so they will send you a link where you can download it. So any other person, what did you learn?
Yeah, good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
Yeah, for me, I learned a lot, which include how you can convert, how you can format your date, convert it from a text format to a date format, which can be used for data analysis, and also doing data validation to ensure that the data that is being collected are in the required format, and also use circle invalid data to review data before and after the data is collected, then also using the what if analysis to do scenario management, go seek, to create analysis projection and all.
Thank you very much. Can I get somebody from Ghana? Somebody from Ghana? Anybody from Ghana? What did you learn? Anybody from Ghana? Did you learn anything? Anybody from Ghana? Just one representative from each of the countries. Then I think I will still teach more. So please just tell me, what did you learn very quickly? Somebody from Ghana, tell me what you have learned till now.
Hi, hello. I'm from Ghana. So I have learned how to create a scenario manager. You start off the process by
No, it's chicken that will.
We can't hear you again. Oh, we can't hear you, but we can hear the other person on that. Okay. Another person from Ghana, Rescue Ghana. So tell us, what did you learn? I just want to be sure that we participated really. Okay, anybody from Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone, what did you learn? Anybody? Okay. So I'm sure that we actually learned one or two things. I want to take it a step further. Now, normally I'm supposed to actually do 2 hours, and I think I've done 2 hours, but let me just speak to this. We have some of our classes coming up, some of these classes, we take them 2 days, 3 days, whether they are finance and accounting classes, leadership and soft skills. We have a couple of these classes. I would like you to actually attend those full classes really. Some of them are coming up next week. I think we have some leadership classes next week and throughout the year. And those classes are actually held in Nigeria, in Ghana, in the UK. So basically, we would like to actually have you for the full classes. And we would really, really like to have you for the full class. Any comments, any thoughts before I take text functions, and I'll try to see if I can do logical functions. Any thoughts before I continue? Can I continue? Hello, can you hear me?
Thank God we left.
Okay, so can I take it a step further? Because
Yes.
I can see that many people are actually leaving, so I need to actually be sure that I'm not talking to myself. Yes,
go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Let's just do some little things really, as I try to round up as much as I can.
Okay.
Let me also teach some simple text functions. Very simple, straightforward text functions before going to logical functions, if perhaps at that time. Now let's assume I want to make all these things to become uppercase. You know, the biro, the pencil, the products are actually not in all small letters or capital letters. I want to capitalize each of those, capitalize in capital letter. What will I use? I can just use a simple text function and say equals to upper, and I click on the.
Hello, sir. We can't see your.
Oh, what can you see?
Hello, sir. We can't see your page that you're sharing.
Oh, please, what can
It's
you
the
see
some
now?
upcoming classes that we can see. The adverts for the next upcoming classes.
Let me stop and share again. Let me stop and share again. So can you see my screen now? What can you see now?
For now, it's blank. Okay. Okay.
Blank, sir. It's blank, sir. We can't see anything.
Is it still blank?
Not blank.
Oh, the table is up. The table is up.
Yes, sir.
The table is
It's still
up.
blank.
Oh.
Okay, it's
We
up
can't
now.
see now.
Bad.
Please go ahead. I think it's the network.
It's even breaking.
It's up now.
I think it's the network from where you are.
Yes,
But
the network.
can you see it now? Can you see my screen
It's
now?
on now. It's on. It's on.
Can see your table.
Okay, that's cool. So what I was saying was that what I want to teach some
Not yet,
simple.
sir.
Yeah, I think the network in different places might not be the same thing. Really.
You can't see anything at all.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing.
Your table is thick.
No, if you can't see, you go out and then come back, please. You have gone off now. If you can't see, you go back and log in again.
Okay, no problem. I'm actually sharing again.
We can see you. Maybe it's their own network. They should go out and then come in. We can see it now.
That's correct.
Okay.
See your
Can
screen
you see my?
clearly.
I want to believe that you can see my screen now, and yeah, I think it's the network from different places to really.
We can see your screen now.
Yeah. So let me just go ahead and do this then. Now, I said I want all of these products to be in capital letter. So there's a simple text function to do that. It is equals to upper, open bracket, click on the text, close bracket, and click on enter. If I drag this down, can you see it is all capital letters now? Please, can you see that?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Yes, we can see.
Yes, we can see.
So the upper would actually make it to be all capital letters. What about if I want it all to be in small letters? What will I use? If capital is upper, what will small letters be?
Lower.
Lower.
Equal to lower. Open bracket, click on the text, and you will discover it will convert everything to all small letters. So these are all small letters. So lower will convert everything to all small letters. Yeah. So what about if what I got was all in small letters, and I want the first character to be capital while every other thing is small letters? So I think all of us need to mute. All of us might need to mute the noise in the background. Please, you can mute if you're not saying anything. Can we mute if you're not saying anything? Even locate the person. Okay.
Mute all, please.
Yeah, I think the person is muted already. So now what about if what I want is I want the capital letter for the first character of the sentence or of the word, every other thing small letter, meaning like in a sentence case, what will I do? I'll put equals to proper. Let me assume what I want to make proper is all this text in small letter. So when I say equals to proper will make the first one to be capital letter. So proper is to actually make it like a sentence case. Then small letter is lower, and capital letter is upper. Any questions? No questions, then let me take it a step further. Now, what about in a situation where, like all these products, I want to get the first two. Like I have Bible, I have pencil, I have eraser, I have laptop. I just need first two characters alone. I can use a simple text function called left. Meaning start from left. I'll just say equals to left, open bracket, click on the text, comma. How many characters do I want? I want 2. Close bracket, enter. It will give me the first 2 characters in each of the words. Please, did you get what I just did?
No, sir.
Yes. Now I'll start talking to myself. Okay, so which one didn't you get? The left, the proper, the small, or the capitalized? Which of them didn't you get?
The left, sir.
Okay, so let's do the left again. So it is equals to, and I type left, normal spelling for left. I clicked on the text. Then I put a comma. And what is the number of characters I require? Let's assume I require 3 characters. Meaning it should start from the beginning and count 3 characters, BIR, and I close bracket, enter. If I drag it down, it will do the same thing for all. Please, did you get that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry, but what is the essence? What is the essence?
It's actually to get, for example, I want to get some character. Let me give you an instance. Management has said you should create a code, and the code is supposed to be 2 characters from the product, 2 characters from location, and the year. How would you have done it? So one of the ways of doing it is to actually use left or right to bring out what you require, then concatenate them back together. Please, did you get what I just said? Hello, have I answered your question?
Formula will now be left. Sorry, the formula again.
To do this is actually to left, open bracket, click on the text, comma, and type the number of characters you want. In this case, I wanted 3 characters, and that is BIR from biro. And for pencil, it will be PEN from pencil. Please, do you understand me?
Yes.
So let's now assume another thing you can do with this simple text function is a write. So if, for example, if I do write, what will it do? It will give me the last characters. Let's say I want the last 2 characters. I would have said equals to write, open bracket, click on the text, comma, I want 2 characters from the back, and it will give me RO. Why? Because RO are the last 2 characters in biro. Please, did you get what I just did?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now let me teach you another text function because of our time. Let me teach you the alpha sign or the and sign. You know, for example, if I put equals to and I click on biro and the and, that's the and normal and sign, and I put and I click on Lagos, see what it has done. It has put biro right side by side with Lagos. Please, did you get what I just did? Did you get what I just did?
No, sir.
I want to put biro and Lagos right side by side with each other. To do that, I said I will click on where biro is and I will click on where location is, and it will put them side by side like biro Lagos. Please, do you understand that one?
Just like the way they do first name and surname.
Correct. Now, you will discover that this one, it did not put space. So how do I put space? Rather than doing it like I would have done is equals to biro, and however I want space. Remember, space is a character on its own. Space is a character. So because it's a text character, to bring it into a function or a formula like this, I have to put it in double inverted comma. Meaning I would have to put double inverted comma, space, double inverted comma, then and again, I will now click on Lagos. You will now discover that it will show biro space Lagos. Please, did you get that? Can you see that it's coming out well now as biro space Lagos, pencil space Abuja, eraser space London? Please, did you get that?
No, I did not get it. Please come again, sir.
Okay. To do that, I have to put a space as a text function. And to put a space as a text function, I need to put it in double inverted comma. So I put biro and I put and. I put double inverted comma and I type space and I put double inverted comma. Then I put another and, meaning put it side by side and put Lagos. Can you see what is coming out? To put a space between those 2, but they are still like you are forming first name, last name. and they are in two different columns, and you want to bring them together. This is how to bring them together. Any questions? Any questions?
No, sir.
Hello, sir. Sorry, I just need clarification on that, on proper, just proper, once exercise, some example.
I've clicked on it. So what clarification do you require, please?
Equal to proper, open brackets.
Click on the text that you want to make proper.
Yes, no problem. No problem. I'm good. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So did we get this? So when the questions are going down, trust me, it is time to. So I think we should stop here. I want to take it more, but I can see that, like somebody said, a lot of people have gone on break. Yeah, a lot of people have gone on break, really. So can we take it?
No, we are all here.
I thought we have gone on break.
We are here.
Break period is over now. Come back.
I really don't. Okay, so please, did you get what I just did now? Using the simple and. Now I want to just
not fully.
Not fully. So now I'm going to try to water your curiosity now. Now, but before doing that, I want to do this again. I said I want to put blue biro, blue pencil, blue phone, but product as a column, color as a column. How do I bring them side by side as if I'm writing a sentence? I said what you will need to do is to put equals to, click on the color, and if I click on the color and the product straight, can you see it is not putting space? It will just put everything together. Excel does not know English very well. It doesn't know that it has to put space. So you need to tell it to put space. How do you tell it? I said space is like biro because it is a character. So what do you do? I will put equals to blue, and to bring in a text into a function in Excel, you need to put it in double inverted comma. So I am typing double inverted comma now, and I click on space, and I've typed the second double inverted comma, meaning within that double inverted comma, there's a space, and I will now put and I will now click on the product. See the way to come now. It's now blue biro. Any questions? Please, did we get what I did?
Did you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
no, I did not, sir.
Yes, sir, we
Let me water your curiosity a little bit.
Yes, we did.
Make right. So now, many times in Excel, when you're using Excel, for example, you want to write commentary about data. You want to do like a exemption. You have exceptions. You want to write about the exception, or you want to write a commentary like your report. You can use the simple and statement or the simple and sign. For example, watch what I will write. And you will discover that you just need to drag down. At every point in time, you don't need to write the same report again because it's the same thing. You are just changing data. So why not make the data to just auto-populate the report? Watch. I could have just said the total revenue from the sales of double inverted comma and sales of what? Blue. I didn't put an equals to here. The sales of blue and space and biro and in Lagos in double inverted comma, and location, and in and year, and is
Okay.
and I want you to see what I did first. Can you see what this thing is? If I drag this thing down, can you see that I don't need to type it again for the other ones? Please, did you get what I just did?
Please come again, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. I didn't get it.
It's like you concatenated some
I
of the columns.
concatenated them so that at every point in time, I do not need to begin to type. For example, if there's a commentary beside each of them like this, I don't need to begin to type them again. I could have just done the simple and, which is a concatenate, and put them together as a commentary. So if I do a template, for example, for whether it's a band, whether it's for risk management, whether it's for anything, what I would just do is to go ahead. The report will be picking from the data, so that whenever the data changes, for example, if this biro changes to pencil, then also the commentary will change to pencil. So I don't need to come every time to come and start putting a commentary on something that will come from the data. I don't need to do that. So we can also use this. So these are simple text functions. I would like us to at least stop at this point, because I've done 2 hours and about 2 hours, 30 minutes already, so that instead of the 2 hours. Really. So thank you very much for joining this very simple, very quick one. I know it's a very quick one, really, and many of the participants are very well. Now, in this, I think we actually have a class coming up very soon for Excel, our Excel Advanced 1 class, or Excel Advanced 2 class, IFRS Master class, IFRS 17 class, IFRS 9, Financial Instruments, Basel, Risk Management, Internal Audit, Budgetary, Leadership and Soft Skills. All these classes are coming up very soon. I would like you to join the full class, yeah? So if you have any questions at any point in time, please, you can actually send it to our email box. Our email box is actually info@godp.co.uk, and it's www.godp.co.uk. You can actually look us up, and we'd like to actually have you in a physical class where we can answer all your questions. Really. So thank you very much. I'd like us to actually just, the video will be shared with us in the mail after this class, and also, the video will be shared with us so that we can actually go ahead. So we'd like you to actually fill the, what do you call it? The form, the post-evaluation form or post-training form, so that we can see how we have done. Any questions because I'm rounded up, I've rounded up already.
Excuse me, sir. I would like to ask, do you have apart from this Excel, do you have a full data analysis class where you do all the other packages in conjunction?
Yes. So we actually do Power BI, we do all of those.
Okay, Power BI, Tablix, and all those other things, Abi?
Yes, however, you know that because of the way they are in different levels, so we always break them. Like Excel, we have it in fundamentals 2 days, advanced 1 2 days, advanced 2 days. So it's not like everything in 1 day. Do you understand me?
So sorry, sir. How long will the complete course take?
Okay, so it depends on what you want to use it for. For example, advanced 2 class, I will not suggest it for you, for somebody that actually writes, that develops like complex, that want to do macros, all of those kind of things. So it depends of what you require the skill for. So I will always suggest that people that will do Excel, if you have done advanced 1 and you want to use it for data analysis, you don't need that. But if you want to use it to like write VBAs, create a template for a bank, then I will say you want to actually do advanced 2. Do you understand? So it is we are focused on the skill. Don't just do the one that you don't need. Do the one that you need and know the way skills are. When you do it and when you use it, you will continue to get better.
Okay.
All right, sure.
Hello, sir.
All right.
Yes.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I can hear you. And
thank you. Okay, I have 2 questions, please. Can you advise me or other of my colleagues, as an accountant, what part of Excel or aspect of Excel knowledge do you actually require?
Okay, so as an accountant, at the very minimum, you should know Excel. So you should know fundamentals, and you should know this advanced 1. Some of the things I taught you now is part of our advanced 1 class today, just a part of it. So you don't need to do macros and VBAs and all of those things because you are not, but really something that where you can work with multiple sheets and do some level of complex data analysis. So advanced 1 is okay. I've answered the questions.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. So if you have any questions for us, our email is info@children.co.uk. And if you want us to send you, there's a lot of noise. If you want us to send you our training calendar for the year, please can you just drop your email in the chat box? Just drop your email in the chat box.
Financial statement analysis.
Yes.
Hello?
So just drop your email in there, and you can also send us an email. So we actually have financial statement analysis and modeling 1 and 2. But you see, you would discover there is only 1 that is on this stuff. For an accountant, my suggestion: do financial statement analysis and modeling 1. Do IFRS masterclass because you're an accountant, really, depending on where you are. Have I answered what you were trying to say, sir? Hello?
All right, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for this pro bono lecture.
No, we are just rubbing minds. It's not pro bono.
Yeah, it has been, your standard keeps improving each time we meet. And I think you should keep it up. I want to solicit that you send this Excel worksheet that you are using as part of what you are sending to us, so that some of the formula that we can't actually read them, they can look at it from that thing. Then I will also call you subsequently on some other things outside this class.
No problem. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We'd like to actually say that any other person who wants to say anything before we go?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please, thank you very much for this session. Please, may I know your surname?
My surname is Akinyelu. But if I ask you to pronounce it, Akinyelu. My name is Oluwaseun Akinyelu. Did you get what I just said? You asked the question, Lily. Hello? Okay, I've answered you. Any other person, any thoughts, any words?
Hello, sir.
Okay, you can go ahead. You can go ahead, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Please, can one use his or her personal email address, or must it be company email address?
It's you. You can use anyone, whether it's personal, as far as it's you. As far as it's you, we are good. Anyone is good, really.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Can we have your contact phone number?
Oh yes, yes, you can. Let me type it on this sheet so that you can have it. So my number is. Let me try to make this bigger. So my phone number is, my email is saun.akinyelu@godp.co.uk. My phone number is +234 80126972 let me here now. I have to make it become okay. So that's my phone number in Nigeria and my phone number for Ghana. Yeah, just I want to put my phone number for Ghana. That one. Let me just put my Ghana number also there. So if you any questions? Okay, that's my contact details. And you can also send it to info@godp.co.uk. Please, did we get that? So those are the contact details you can use.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Is that?
I said we got it. We got it.
Hello, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely weekend. And from GODP, I say thank you. Have fun.
Please, when is the next training?
Okay, so we actually have a couple of trainings coming up, really. So you can just put your email in there. They will send it to you, really. They will send it as part of this.
All right, sir.
And you can check it on our website too. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shane.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Shane. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
sir.
Shane.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Shane. God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Shane. God bless you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you, sirs and ma'ams. So have a lovely, lovely weekend. Thank you.
You too, sir.
Yeah.